welcome back to the channel, and we're going to play another one of the Dream Team courses, and this one's on my plot, which is always fun. It's the Savory Grape, which is an odd choice of name, I have to say, but we're not judging on name. Let's go with Southeast and Medium and Black and Pin 1. So Bighockeyguy, I've done a few playthroughs of his, and visually being good. I think one of the guys who would probably have benefited a lot from having someone like Dan on his team. So who's on? Oh, that clubhouse looks great. Ooh, what a screenshot starts off with. Heather looks really good, and I think could have really used someone, or like say, I think Dan and Q were particularly helpful in terms of giving feedback to their team. I'm sure they'd have been great with this. Yeah, that's a nice 18th corridor. Very wide in spots. I can see we've kept some of the trees that were there. Fairway around trees is an interesting choice. I guess not traditional heathland, but like he's done a lot of planting here. This looks good. So kind of more gone down that. So rather than just being like a Surrey-based heathland course, I kind of pulled from a couple of the continental ones. So less Morfontaine and more Utrecht, Japan, and some of the other Dutch ones. So I guess he's kind of drawing a bit more from those. I like that we've run fairway over the boulder land movement rather than just breaking it up. That looks interesting. This was one of those green sites that I thought was a must-use from kind of that sort of direction. The rock wall's cool. Okay, and we've got holes over here as well. And I got questions as to like, how will you tell where people use the don't move the trees? Like the corridors were pretty well defined for me, and therefore I knew kind of the areas where some of those little copses of trees were, and like you can tell that there are some he's kept. There's like feature trees with this one, and it's mostly like the spirit of the thing as well. Oh, I like this a lot. This looks good. I wonder whether I'm going to have a hard job judging all of these on this course, or this plot rather. And then we come back to the clubhouse, this side as well. Yeah, definitely a different vibe to the other two again. Like it's really cool that even though you specify kind of heathland and planting, and you kind of figure that's going to be the main, like this is probably the one where most of the courses look the same, apart from maybe rhinos. Just dang Betty. Yeah, I could have done. Like, but even though you kind of specify a planting style almost, like people have interpreted that in 3 different ways. Okay, practice green, little heathery mounds, and here. I mean, this clubhouse is awesome, by the way. Really, really good. It's such a shame the roofs don't quite match up, but very cool. Okay, and the clubhouse is out of bounds, which is a helpful touch. All right, so we head out this way first. So kind of in a similar sort of location to Scottish's first, I think. Well, I actually noted his going more. His went up this way, I think. But kind of similar. And Petty went out a completely different way as well. Okay. So bunker kind of bleeding out the heather. Okay, well, I think we just want a full wedge into this from somewhere down here. I like the restraint around the green and that you've just let the slopes do all that they need to do, and haven't put more bunkers around it. Light rough running into the bunker is a smart choice. Looks good. Yeah. Okay, I think sand wedge up 24 feet or that. Let's try and use that backstop if we can. And probably slow it and yeah. Wasn't a great putt. Maybe a little barren under those trees. Like, it's always the risk if you go very dense with the planting in certain areas. That like once that tails off, the illusion's broken just a little bit. Good first hole though. And I like that as a first hole in there. It's just, it kind of reminds me of the first at Friar's Head a little bit in terms of concept of just that very elevated approach shot. Ooh. Oh, I like this. I don't know that you need the fence at all. I don't really understand why it's there. I don't mind it. It looks like, visually, I guess it does add something, but I just don't really know why it's there. I kind of always want to see a function, I guess, for a fence. Par 3 itself, though, looks great. I really like this. Nicked a little bit of petty tether idea as well, which is smart. I mean, it was good. Oh, go on. Surfacing around the front of the green, maybe a tiny bit ragged, just around that bunker. I got some slightly awkward bead work here, but let's go. Yeah, so it kind of bubbles. Could have used a little flan. Par 3's good though. Really, really strong first 2 holes. Good look on the third as well. Okay, so the trees are kind of protecting that next tee, but you could go further out here for a better angle in. I think I'm okay playing from here. Really like the environment. Just, yeah. Keeping the tree corridors nice and wide really helps as well. Okay, so long par 4 that actually plays like a long par 4. How long is it on the card? 521, yeah. But plays like it should, which is rare in this game. Go on, wind, helps out a little bit. I'm hoping that then feeds towards... Yeah, it's worked nicely. And again, could have run that all the way in from the right-hand side. Yeah, again, I appreciate that you've given there's fairway and loads of space around the green. I think that makes a big difference. Plays really well. That's an annoying miss. Okay, on the par train. And now we go back the other way and par 5 back to that green side. Okay, nice. Matty would be proud of the trees in play. I feel like I probably wouldn't have put fairway under them. Personally, I do like the bunkers down. That bunker string looks nice. But I understand why you've put a fairway around them, and yeah, it's more a personal choice than anything else. I appreciate that we're now going for a fade, running a shot into the green after having had a draw. That's a nice touch. Okay, somewhere to I think to here. Oh, there's the tempo. Did charge the controller overnight, so it should be better. I mean, the big views over this course are spectacular. Looks great. Another slightly tricky part. Go on. Down the hill. There we go. Like, this part of the plot was always my favourite. I had a couple of spots I really liked, but this area is great. Yeah, there's definitely some spots of really dense planting, which you just probably want to be a bit careful of if you don't necessarily feel you can execute that everywhere. But it looks great. It's nice to see Heathland courses again. I guess one my nitpick with this one would be we kind of just hit the same sort of approach shot over kind of similar bunkers. I really like both holes. I like the stone wall as well. This is a nice touch. Really like both holes. just more a sequencing thing. Oh no, that's too high. Oh, got lucky. Got very lucky. Okay, I guess straight at it. Nope. Can't read the greens at all today. We'll take one under at the moment. Not playing particularly well. Okay. Do I want to be down this side? I think I probably do. Is that out of bounds? No. It's okay. Doesn't necessarily need to be. I like the heather coming in off that bunker. I almost would have liked it a little bit more. I think. Let's go right in between clubs, and that wind is making me take it a little closer to that tree than I would like. I am loving this so far. Just really good. Right. Kind of these. So I really restricted the sculpting on this plot, just because I don't want people to use what was there. And you've definitely taken that and run with it. Oh, long par 5. Cool green site. I like the kind of punch bowl kind of running over this hill. This was always a great one that was in there. Yeah, I love this. I'm hoping it is reachable in 2. Hit over the bunker. And then that brings it into play. And if you can't hit over the bunker, there's definitely a 3-shotter. Okay. Huh. Yep, really like this. This would be a fun one to play in real life. Just because you'd be hitting that and just be like, yeah, I think that's good. And then you wander up and see where on earth you ended up. People think blind shots are unfair until like you get until you actually play them in real life to a receptive green that's designed for that. They're great. Come on, please hole apart. Nope, not that one either. Yeah, that's the 2 par 5 approaches have been really fun, and done ground game differently. Really nice par 3 to follow this up with, like completely. So like, whilst I said the previous par 5 kind of felt a bit similar to the previous hole, this one couldn't be more different. And like, what a good spot for a par 3. Love this one. Is this where Scottish put his kind of like par 3 in the mounds, but he came at it maybe this direction? I feel like it was somewhere around here. And like from being wide open to sudden, like we played into this copse, but it's transitioned nicely. There. Again, minor nitpick, but we've had the front pin on both par 3s. It just might be a balancing thing. It was never happening. That's really cool. And then 9 does come back to the clubhouse, which is a nice touch. I think I specified that you had to. People just have. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I forget my own rules, so look it up. But again, this one feels kind of similar to Scottish's 18th in terms of where it is. Like that hitting around the corner, and then the fall-away green. Like all 3 of them so far have kind of had this hole. Clubhouse looks awesome. Oh, not slow. A little bit of a lion's mouth thing going on there, but not too formal. And like the front to back lion's mouth is quite a cool way of doing it as well. makes you take on that little bunker in front a bit more. Can't get over how good the clubhouse is. Okay, up we go here. Another kind of bunkerless, well, rather, I guess a more open par 5 green. Or like just more open greens generally than you've tended to do. I think they really work well. Playing over broken ground up to here. Okay. This is fun, like just letting the land movement do everything for you. Because I didn't quite crest the hill, I haven't quite got the view, which makes sense. But we should be able to run it on, and that's ended up well. Oh, what a shot that is. Helped enormously by the contours. That's worked really nicely. What a friendly green. Like, there's one big slope in front and then everything else is kind of helping you. So this one's all about distance control, which is good, because the punch bowl was going to be less about distance control and more about, like, lateral dispersion. Loving this so far. Okay, drive ball par 4. We haven't done a plateau green yet, I guess. Okay. And let's go. Question is, do I feel I can drive it? And like, you've given me enough room. It's just whether I feel I can pull that shot off. I like that the green's on an angle as well as having that runoff behind, because it means it's not as straightforward as I want to pick line and length. Let's get to there, I think. And we're going to miss left, I think. Oh no. Skipping through the heavy rough might help us. I like the mounding around the green. Left myself a bit too. On these greens where I've not been putting well. Okay, well we do hole 1. It's a lovely, pleasant thing to wake up to. Good course. This little green feature is awesome. So like, it's not a tier, it's kind of like a couple of little mounds and goes in and out. And just, I really appreciate that you haven't done too much more with the green. So we've got 2 features, really. That little mounded bit. And then this, and the rest of it's all just done with green shape and 1 bunker. Really. And yeah, that's kind of a really memorable hole. Oh. Well, there's always one terrible tempo. Didn't even get to the bunker. It's okay. We can hit a flop and hopefully get close-ish. Contours were mostly helping. There we go. So we're now out the other side of the trees and things, aren't we? Whereabouts on the plot are we? I like that I feel like I've gotten a bit lost. Okay, yeah, we're around. So I realised that me saying yes, we're here is not very helpful for any viewers. So we played over this side on the front 9. So you had that par 3 with the wall and that par 3 just tucked in. This is now just the other side. There was kind of this central tree and ridge line that kind of really divided the plot into 2 halves. It was how you played off that and tended to lend itself to 9 holes one side, 9 holes the other, but you could go about it different ways. This wall's interesting. It adds something to this hole, definitely. And that one, I like the one big feature tree. Well, I guess there's a second. Might have lost one of them. I don't think you need both. Maybe we ran out of trees we were allowed to fell. Oh, see hazard, hit in hazard. We're going to ignore the Jurassic grass because I am so far offline that would not be a fair critique. That might be too much. Needs to sit. Green runs away, I think. Yeah. That would have been cool with you accentuating the mounds a little bit more. So, as in, it's just stupid how the game works because it rolls off and then it just stops here on fairway. Like, you have to sink the fairway even more. If that was a sculpting limitation reason, then yeah, I'd have been cool with that. Okay. Still, we make it out of the par after the horrific tee shot. I like approaching the slopes this way. Okay. Oh, I'm on a 3-wood. I feel like 3-wood's not a bad play, but yeah, I'm happy with driver down there. Oh, that's really kicked. Not see that coming. I think sandwich is fine. Is it? Yeah, let's assume it's going to go. Again, cool green sloping, like just that one major. Go on, get off. Thank you. Speed up our day. Yeah, just that one major feature and then everything else kind of feeds off that. I think you do get some like the one thing I'd say about the greens is I like the general restraint with the big slopes. I think you probably want to work with some of the little ones and just check where your contours are going because it feels a little bit random, which can mean like you get a lot of double breakers. Like if you look at this pin, for example, everything's coming this way apart from you've got a few beads going this way, a few this way, a few this way. It's kind of a bit haphazard. I know I restricted the use of flatten generally. Oh, well, there we go. But what I think you do need to do around pins is like flatten is for greens for me, really. Like use the kind of natural contours on the land and use raise to kind of keep those as much as you can rather than smoothing them out. But around the pins, you want that kind of predictable roll. So you flatten and then raise to kind of bring them back where they were, but smoother. Long. Oh no, short par 5. Okay. I guess there's a high side bunker really in play if you're anywhere down here, and then low. Ooh. Okay, didn't kick as hard as it might have done. But I like that there's forgiveness in this course, generally. It feels like the course is trying to help me, which is always a nice feeling. I'm also aware of the irony of that, given some of the courses I design. Do as I say, not as I do, and all that. Yeah, so like here we got a triple breaker. I think once you start noticing that, you'll see it a lot more, and it's something you can quickly tidy up. Exactly. Another really cool par 3 green site, right? Access road, car park, gotta show those off. But no, like this was a good place to come back to. We played, oh no, so we're going to play there for 17, 18. Okay. I like the way you've come back to this part and then you go 2 holes over. Which would be quite cool for like a little playoff loop if you needed them. Strange one, but it's a very good choice of fence. Just feels like it fits that European sort of vibe. But I'm presuming you're going for, because everything kind of fits that Utrecht sort of look. Okay, so now we're going out kind of where Petty's first was, sort of. I think long par 4, but minimal hazarding on the drive. Just, you don't want to be too far right, because otherwise those trees come into play. Yeah, similar to Petty's, like really similar, I think. Which is nice. Like they're both good holes. It just goes to show, like you can find the same things just by using the land in a sensible way. Oh, really helpful slope. Did not expect that. That's like, again, another fun, helpful green. I like it a lot. God damn it! I'm going to have a really tough time with these. I've got a really nice challenge on my hand. On my hands here, picking like top 5 so far from the top 3 I've had. Even if it's just these 3, I'd be delighted. Okay, good view. Love the bunkers drawing across the fairway. I think we go just down to here. Really cool look at that clubhouse again to finish off. This is, for the record, this is where I would have had my 18. I did a routing on this one just to see where I'd end up and check that everything works. This was kind of the 18th that I had. Oh, it's a nice little green site. Boo. Well, we don't make it to -9 because I hit a terrible approach and a terrible putt. Yeah, that was a blast. Like, buddy, this is by a mile your best course. And I think you just totally, what this feels like is you totally embrace that whole, let's just go and find stuff rather than let's go and create stuff. And it all works really well. There's a load of restraint there with how you put hazards down. I thought the planting's great as ever, but planting has always been a strong point for you. You've done that really well. I thought the ideas were varied. It was friendly, just fun to play and looks good. And it's like, those are a really good combination to have. Yeah. And like, I think the best compliment I can give is it's right in the conversation with that Petty and Scottish one, because it's just really, and it's a different take on it in terms of visually. Really enjoyed it. Cheers for publish. Can't wait to have more of them. So I think I've got 2 more maybe coming on my plot. But yeah, 3 bangers so far.